Today's guest is a Zumba jammer. Her name is Shawnita Pair. You have seen her dancing on Zine 84 as well as on the fitness concert at Zumba convention. She used to be a reggaeton jammer, but she has been for the last few years a choreo jammer. She has also been having a lot of fun for the last year and a half doing bodybuilding competition. And she's also an entrepreneur having her company called Season Sugars Wellness, teaching fitness classes to senior citizens. Get ready to dive into a discussion of life, relationship, what to expect from a partner, how to raise children, when to have children, hormones, bodybuilding, how to eat properly, how to train properly, how to find yourself when you have found yourself a little bit lost, and how to get back in touch with yourself, having motivation to continue to work on projects in life. This was a very relaxed conversation between two friends. Thank you so much, Shawnita, for giving me your time. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Happy Beyond Fit podcast with Maria Browning, former synchronized swimmer from Colombia turned into a lifestyle entrepreneur. Welcome to my podcast. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. This is so fun.
I know you're a Zumba instructor. I know you teach your seniors class. I know you're a Zumba jammer, but you don't teach Zumba classes as a full-time job. So when you say you're at the college, I'm like, but what do you do at the college?
Right. So my profession at the college is I am an adjunct professor. So you know what? We're going to do some education right now.
Yes, thank God for Google.
Let's go ahead and break this down because I've never had anyone ask me what is an adjunct professor. The kids just call me Professor P. So an adjunct professor is a part-time college instructor who teaches on a contract basis. They are also known as adjunct lecturers and adjunct instructors.
What exactly do you teach? Do you teach to kids?
So I teach to seniors. I am a part of the senior wellness program at the college. It's called SAGE. And then I do teach young people. I teach ninth graders. Okay. They're part of what we call the Academy of Health Sciences at my college. And these are students who are working on completing their high school diplomas, but they are also receiving an associate's degree at the same time. So they are doing a dual study program and they take a college cardio fitness course with me. So I help them to get their elective credits because they have to do a physical education class. So
it's like a PE class or what kind of cardio fitness?
Yes, I'm a high-level physical education teacher at the college. That's what they need to call me. No.
Okay, yes, thank you. That would be much easier to understand. Your work is Monday through Friday. So what about Saturday and Sunday? What's up with Shawnee's life Saturday and Sundays?
So Saturdays and Sundays are for the children for the most part, because that's when they do mostly all of their activities. So they're back.
So you have two daughters. How old are they now?
They're 13 and 16.
Okay. And what kind of activities do you guys do during the weekends?
So on the weekends, my youngest, the 13-year-old, she dances. So her dance, now you talk about being in
By the way, she's been dancing since she was born.
Pretty much.
Seen her dancing nonstop.
Yes, thank you. So talk about being in traffic. So I live in Maryland, but she dances in DC. So I'm taking her back and forth to DC on the weekends downtown. And then my daughter, she does her activities at her school. It's about maybe 10 minutes from the house, but then she also works. So she has a job and that is around the corner from the house. And then she has all of her extracurricular activities with her friends.
Is she driving already? Or not yet?
No, she's not driving yet, and she really wants to. And I'm just not.
How old does she have to be? Because in Florida, it's 16.
Oh,
my
she
son
drive now.
Is driving permit.
Drive now if once she completes her driver's ed and gets her license.
Okay, yeah. And she could also help you with the little one. She can be the one taking the little one to dance classes.
She could, but I can.
But that's your time to spend with her.
Yeah, both of them really. I enjoy having them in the car with me, and I like to still kind of be in control of that situation. My nerves are not good.
I can relate to you as far as I've seen you over the years showing up to all of your Zumba events with your daughters. you raised them, I assume, because you were divorced. So that's why you were carrying your daughters with you all the time, right? Like a kangaroo mommy. And, and that was
Yeah.
my case when I got divorced when Nicholas was 5 years old. And then I was traveling every single weekend for Zumba international and in the United States. And then I was traveling with me, taking him with me everywhere. So it's hard to see. I mean, it's not hard. It's rare to see that case that the Zumba presenter, the Zes or the Jammer is like carrying their children with them. So I guess you and I are a rare case. But anyway, I
Well,
can relate to you.
think I'm definitely starting to see it more and more now, especially with
Who have you seen? I
some.
only saw Tony Witt doing that, bringing his
Well, I
daughters.
think now, I think especially with like a lot of like of the younger, some of the younger instructors, particularly the jammers and things like that, they're starting to have their own families. And I have seen people like bring their families to convention, bring their children, and
No, Zumba convention is different
okay,
because they bring the moms and the moms are staying, taking care of the babies, and it's because they are babies. So they are yet not ready to like leave them for days. So, but they are babies. But your case and mine is different. Our kids were not babies. They were like older. They were still very little, and we were carrying them not with a nanny or mom taking care of them.
right,
It was
fair,
us teaching the
fair,
session and keeping
fair
one
enough.
eye there and the other eye on the
Mhm.
participants, or having somebody, a friend, helping us last minute just to keep an eye on them while we were doing our thing. So that's what I mean. That I
No, you're right. You're
understand.
right. We didn't have, so you're right. I wasn't bringing someone else with me, like, okay, you're going to help me with the girls. No, they were just coming with me. But at the time, they were lucky they weren't babies, because if they were babies, I don't know if I would have been doing all of what I was doing with them. They were still old enough to kind of like sit over on the side with their
With an
iPad
iPad or
and
yes,
all the different
correct.
things. And I kind of wanted them to come with me. I wanted them to see what I was doing.
And that's where I'm going. We didn't do it because we couldn't pay for a
No,
babysitter or
no,
have
and
somebody staying at home with
could have been
them.
with their family. They could have
We
been with their
didn't
family.
want to miss it. Yes, we wanted to be
Yeah,
with them,
yeah,
and
they
we
could have
wanted
been.
them to witness what we were doing.
Exactly. They could have been with their dad. They could have been with their family. They could have been with, friends. But I wanted them to be with me. I wanted my kids to come. I wanted my daughters, especially, I wanted them to see what their mother was doing.
Did you ever run into, because I know you came to visit my B1 trainings and you brought the girls, but I don't know if you taught jam sessions while having the girls with you in the room. Did you?
No, no,
Ah,
no,
okay.
that was different. That I did not do, because
Okay.
I know my attention would have been divided, and I would not have wanted that. I'd have been very kind of like, what are you doing? And then still trying to break down choreo. And that would have been probably a mess for me. Now, in a case like that, if I were going to try to do that, then I would have had to have an extra person with me. I would have had to call my sister or a friend or something like that. But no, they were usually with their dad when I was jamming.
Okay, because I did that, so I guess I was pushing it.
Poor
And
Nicholas.
I brought Nicholas with me because I
Yeah.
was like, Zumba
But I
wanted me
had
to travel
two.
the world.
Now,
I was not
remember,
willing to be separated from my son for weeks and weeks. Like, no,
but
he's coming with
but
me.
it was two girls too. Now maybe if I only had one, maybe I would have brought her with me. But I had two, and I was like,
A
two.
100%, because every time Nicholas asks me, "Oh, can you please get pregnant? I want to have a sibling." I'm like, "No, you don't realize that if I were to have another child, I cannot travel with two of you. Tickets are too expensive. I
That.
wouldn't make any profit. I will be using all the money to pay for your ticket. And you can afford it and still make a profit. But two, like, no, it's
No,
impossible.
no,
No.
absolutely not. You would need a lot of help for that. Yeah. So no, I didn't bring them to the jams.
So how old were they when you got divorced?
For my husband and I, we were separated for a while. Okay, so
What do you
uh,
mean?
we were separated. So meaning we
I
we
mean,
were
when did you separate? Yeah.
we were
When did
separate.
you?
Yeah,
Okay, let
oh
me
God.
rephrase myself. When did you go on your own with your girls?
Right. Okay. So that's a better question, because the separation was a while.
Quick pause. Please don't forget to click on follow on Spotify and subscribe to my YouTube channel. In this way, you help me to continue to grow this beautiful project of Biographies of Greatness. Thank you so much. let's get back to the show.
The question is, so when did your relationship end with your husband? Better question. That
Okay.
relationship ended maybe 2015, 2016. So the girls had to be, what is 2025 minus 2016?
Oh, Jesus. 25 minus 16?
So
Nine.
nine. That's nine. Okay. So that would have made me 36. Then that means Sinai was what, 9 years ago?
This is very interesting because the only way I don't remember the year I got divorced. I just remember how old Nicholas was. So that's why I ask you, how old were your girls when you ended your relationship? Because I assume everybody goes by the
so now I'm like this. Wow, that was 9 years ago. She's 16. 16 minus 9 is 7.
But you don't remember it by the ages of your girls?
No. I remember by the year when everything was a mess.
Which was 2016.
Well, when the mess started 2014, but then 2016, yeah. And if I had to be honest, when I write my book, and this would be for the ladies, it's a matter of when you get married, you need to marry that person as who they are in that space. And to me, you need to just know that if this person stays just like this, you're going to be fine. See, I didn't do that. I was younger. He was much, much older. I didn't know anything about life. And so once I discovered who he was.
But we all evolve. So we're never going to be the same person somebody married us.
Well, we're not, but I was younger and I was in a space where I think what I did in that particular relationship was that I was in love with the idea of a person. I was in love.
Yeah, that's very typical. All women, we do that when we marry young.
I was young, and plus I was younger than
we marry the potential.
What I had to learn and what I discovered is I did marry the potential. I had an idea. I looked and I
But was it the potential because you wanted to change him into something, or because you thought that was where he was going?
I thought that's where he was going. It was never I want to change him and make
So it was false advertisement. But we never said this.
We never. I had a vision about him.
But listen, isn't that the case in all relationships? We all do the same. When we start dating, we're selling ourselves. We're pure sales reps. Yes, we are selling. We're not being authentic. We're not being honest. We're selling the best version of who we think we could be, not even who we are in the moment. So we're all giving false advertisement. And then because we develop feelings and attachment, then sometimes the being disappointed is harder for some than for others. Mm-hmm. But we all play this game.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah. I also think in that particular relationship, I did not understand polarity. To me, just my personal opinion, in a relationship, polarity is important. Because polarity.
As far as what? What do you mean polarity?
Polarity between feminine energy and masculine energy. Just kind of how we show up for each other in the relationship. I feel like no matter what the makeup of the relationship is, there is one of the person is going to carry a stronger dominant energy in terms of a feminine energy, and then a dominant energy in terms of a masculine energy. And I feel like,
But do you feel like that applies to all the areas? If I am the dominant in my relationship, I am the dominant in all areas, and the other one is the more submissive, or we interchange depending on the areas?
I think there is a level, it could be a level of interchanging in all the areas. But overall, I just believe that, when it comes to romantic relationship, there's a high level of feminine and masculine energy at play. And in order for it to really work together, I feel like people kind of need to play their position. I just feel like it's better. And I bring that up in my circumstances because I feel like, because I didn't know too much about that there was more of a competition kind of in the relationship.
Because you were being dominant and he was as well?
Yeah. But like, I kind of was, but I also wanted to be the girl at the same time. And sometimes I think in some relationships, when a woman is, kind of dominant, kind of a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more assertive, a little bit more masculine. And she wants to be a girl at the same time. I think it's hard for the man to turn it off because he's so used to seeing her.
Yes, we drive them crazy.
He's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
used to seeing her go get it. But then you want to be the girl, and he's like,
No, here's the thing. The more go-getter we are, the more they're like, okay, I'll just
the more
chill. You
right,
go,
the
babe.
more
You go shine. You go take care of everything. And
yeah,
then when you need them to step up, you're like, wait, what? Now it's your turn. And they're like very comfortable. But because they're just following our lead, it's not their fault.
yeah. I
We
don't
allow
think
that
their
to
fault,
happen.
but in that regard, I think that can kind of for some relationships, and I think that's kind of what happened with mine. I don't think that it helped it to be successful. Either it just didn't help it to be successful, or maybe we just didn't figure out how to actually make that work together. Because in that particular experience, it was like, okay, I am resting. You don't rest now. This is your time to. But I think for him, he was kind of like, go, you got it. No, I don't have it this time. I need you.
No, and you know what is the funniest part? That we're like, oh, yes, go get her and self-sufficient. But then because we go through cycles in the month, then there's always those days in the month that we're like, we feel
Rest,
used.
rest. So
But
I
it's because we overdid it. They didn't ask us to do it. Our own initiative. But then we resent them because they're not doing the same. But it's
right.
our own doing. Isn't that like
It is. And unfortunately, and this might sound like it comes off as a game or like manipulative, but there's a part of me that feels like sometimes, just as a woman, at least I'll just speak for myself, where you have to literally tell yourself, fall back, take your hands off, go ahead and let him lead. If you're in a relationship, or if you are, let him lead the thing. Don't touch it. And no matter how it comes out, let it be.
okay, what's the hardest part of letting him lead?
Timing. I want it now. Why haven't you done it yet? I already asked you. Why do I
And
have
I
to
will
ask you
add,
twice?
that was very accurate. Timing and zip it
And
while
then
you wait for it to happen. Because if we open our mouth, we messed it up. We
done.
have to let them take their time picking up their momentum without criticizing, without bitching about it. We have to keep encouraging them. So they're not saying anything.
But now the flip side, I feel like, to that is when you're dating, if you're exploring a relationship again, especially if you're older, when you're dating, why not, make it a point to be intentional about your vetting process when you're choosing someone. For example, what we're talking about, don't choose somebody who you have to tell 2 and 3 times. In the experience, okay, this person that I'm dealing with, like when I ask him for something or if I mention something, he's kind of slow to move. He's he's a little bit resistant or whatever. If that is the case and that is a problem, don't be a desperate woman. Let it go and find someone who,
It's
when
a
you
better match.
it is a better match. And the better match is the man or the person who is so into you that sometimes I wonder if they just got to like you more. They're so into you that before you can even open your mouth, they're like, oh yeah, I heard you say this the other day. Here, I know you need this. Yeah, I remember you asked me that yesterday. Here you go. Because here's the thing, we're so impatient sometimes, and I'm just speaking for women. We can be impatient in terms of finding relationship, especially if that is something that is important to us, that we're emotional about it instead of being a little bit more logical and saying, okay, I had a great time here. However, when I think long term, just judging by how this experience has been, do I really want to be, is this person a match? I have to literally explain myself and tell this person things over and over again before they move. I don't like that. This is going to create tension later. We had a good time here. We should probably let it go. Let me move on and explore something else because
But on the other side, that's what many women are doing now. Just like say, no, next, it's not a good match. Next. So nobody is investing in building a relationship because of that, because they
you
are
think
only
so?
seeing it as it's not a match. Yes.
Well,
Because think about this.
I haven't heard it like that before. Tell me more.
Because think about this. In hundreds and thousands of years ago, the human being was designed to live in a small community of max 150 people. That's how big a village was. In those 150 people, how many people were going to be your possible matches? One or two, and you would choose based on, well, we women have always tried to secure our future, right? So I will go for the baker or the butcher, so they feed me. So, or like, you don't have many options, so you have to invest in building and making the relationship work, because it's just one of the 2 or 3 options you were going to have in your life. Now, our community has grown to billions because we seem to have access to the whole world through social media and the internet. So now what people are struggling with is investing the time to build that relationship, because they think, no, there's a whole catalog of other options. Like, why do I have to spend all this time? You're not a perfect match for me anyway. So next. And then let's try with this one. 3 dates, 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months. Okay, no, not a match. Next. And there's a dating crisis now.
So, but
So
I
here's
wanted,
what I think is that women at our age, we have the luxury of having more fun with it, because
yeah,
we already got
okay,
married, we have kids, we're not
yeah,
desperate
yeah.
for signing a paper. We just want to, if we text us 50 years, we'll continue to enjoy the ride, meeting people, having
It's
fun.
so, you know what? This is probably going to be so weird to say to some people, but when you're on the other side of not having this pressure of, I need to get married and I need to
I need
have,
to have
yeah,
kids. Yes.
I'm like, I'm over here like, been there, done that, check, got the t-shirt. Okay, now I can live my life for real because I'm not on a timeline. I don't have to meet some unrealistic expectation of society because I've been there and I've done that and I got the t-shirt. And I know what goes on in real life behind those closed doors anyway. So a lot of what people are sharing, I already know is not all that is cracked up to be all the time.
I know.
So
And
there's
also
that.
because most of my girlfriends have been married for 25 years. So I see the struggle of having to amend a broken relationship, and having to your romantic partner in the process of raising children, and then not being able to find each other again in a romantic space, but just like trying to figure out what is this after raising the children. But then you don't want to be single because you're petrified of thinking about it at that age, so you prefer to fight. But then there's always conflict, and I am like, oh man, I am so lucky. I'm so lucky I got
It's
divorced because I get to enjoy my relationship the way I want it. It's just perfect.
right. Like I see. I mean, the glow on you with you and your captain. I'm just like,
Yes.
oh, it's just like, it just looks like freedom and peace. It's just like, it looks like peace, joy, love, and calm flow. And I'm like, because to me, and so you hear people say things like, marriage is hard, relationships are hard. And I'm probably like one of the weirdos who asked the question, why? Don't you
It
like each
doesn't
other?
have to be.
Right. Like you two get together, you make a list of what you like. You make a list of what you don't. He does the same. You all decide. Let's do the things on the side where that says the list of the things that we like. Like I don't the concept of that blows my mind because literally people go into relationship and even marriage like, I know this is going to be hard and I know that relationships are struggling. I'm like, oh my God, what kind of thing is that to manifest in your relationship? I'm like, I'm just asking the question like why? And I can understand some things like, well, people evolve and people change. And I'm like, but this person you had this yummy, juicy, or I don't know if it was yummy, juicy. I guess I think about myself and
Hopefully it was.
the type of relationship that I desire, this yummy, juicy, magnetic, romantic, passionate, situation that you have with this other person. To me, I am in my mind, nothing is going to get in between it. Not even the children, because the children are going to grow up and leave the house. Like I'm thinking like, especially like couples with young kids, I'm like, you do know they're going to grow up and leave, right? And it's going to be,
Yeah, but girl, that is so hard to
yeah,
remind yourself of when there's also financial issues, when
Oh,
everybody's tired, when you're
yes.
sleep deprived, and not just because they're babies. You're always
Mhm.
sleep deprived because you're always overworking, trying to make more money to pay for all
Yeah.
the life that you feel that you deserve to have with your loved ones. So that it's
Yeah.
exhausting.
It
And on top
is.
of that, to keep the
It is.
sparkles in a relationship, it is so exhausting and it's so easy for both to just take a tiny little turn on the path. And then after years and years and years and years and years, you're both in totally different places. And how do you find each other in love of each other at that point? When you
I
have
just feel like
changed
you
into
have
another
to want
person.
to. I think it has something to do with personality and you have to want to. Like for example, I know that when once I'm in a relationship, like I'm like fun, passion, cheated romance, hugs and kisses and cuddles and all of that. So my match has to kind of be on that kind of similar page. That is me. If I find that in the relationship, okay, I feel like we're kind of veering away from that. I always have to come back to myself like, no, that is not who you are in a relationship. Get back to you because this is what we're building our relationship on. Passion, love, connection, physical touch,
But those
conversation.
things are important for you and I. We're very similar on that. That's our priority
Mhm.
when we think of relationship. That's not
That's
what
why I
most
say a
people say.
personality.
Most people say, I want my partner to be my best friend. I don't want my partner
I
to be
don't
my
want
best friend.
that.
I don't want to have sex with my best friend. I just want to
Oh
talk
my
to
God, that's
them.
an excellent point. That is an excellent point. I don't need him to be my best friend. I don't need
Correct.
him
I
to be
have
my best
tons of best
friend.
friends.
I don't need him to be my best friend. I don't need him to be a fan. I don't need him like you're here for the passion, the yumminess, the
And
juiciness,
that's another good one you mentioned.
connection.
I don't need him to
Or,
be a fan. Yes, we don't need him to have googly eyes as far as who we are, maybe if
Mhm.
we're successful in other areas. No, they need to keep us grounded. So we want
Yes,
them.
yes, 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 yes. So that brought, my point was that it depends on the personality. And I think a lot of times when people are getting in relationships, they may not understand their personality. I don't think I understood my personality and who I really was and what I really desired. And I don't think I really foresaw, okay, if you're going to be committed and be married to this individual, like I know you cannot predict the future, but what is it that you all are working on together? Where do you see yourself? To me, if I'm being honest for myself and even for him, I believe that, when I was getting married, like during that time and starting a family, I believe I was just checking off boxes, kind of like going to college, getting the degrees, because, that's the thing that, I know in my community and, just from what I see and what
The
I,
programming.
just because of my programming, these are the boxes that we're going to check off. Okay, now that you graduated from high school, you want to go to college, you got to check off the boxes, you got to get your degrees. Okay, all right, now you're going to get married and you're going to now you create a family and now you get a house and 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 it's like, oh, okay, just checking off the boxes, right? And that works for a lot of people. I have had to learn through a lot of trial and error that I am not a check off the box type of girl. I am literally flowing with the river. Like, wait, like, because when I try to check off the boxes, it seems like the boxes don't fit right. It's like I
No,
don't
it
know.
seems like we check off the box and we're like, wait, but this is not really what I wanted. So it's like it actually makes you wake up and you're like, why am I doing this?
But that's hard because gosh, it makes you feel, well, at least my experience for me just personally, it just I kind of, feel like an outcast. Like, just was just like so different, so very strange, kind of weird in a way. Cause why aren't you at your office job, you know, you know, making over 300 grand somewhere and, doing what you're supposed to do with your suit on? What are you doing?
But at the same time, thank God for the programming. Had we not had the programming that you go like a zombie in autopilot, okay, I gotta graduate, I gotta get the college degree, I gotta get married, I gotta have the kids, we would not be enjoying our lives like we are right now. Because we had kids when we were young and now they are older and now life begins when kids are grown up. So at the same time, thank God for that programming. It was necessary because that's the programming that now the young generation is not having. So they're not getting married. Now they are
Yeah,
in the
that's
30s and they're like focused on their career and their achievements. And I'm now thinking, gosh, they're soon going to be 40. I mean, who wants to have a kid at 40? You're like extremely tired. I mean, I know many people do it, but like it's a little late and then you're in a hurry and then you have to freeze your eggs and then you have to have the kid on your own. And then it's like a whole other issue, like big list of issues because you didn't have the programming that made you get married at 20 and start having children.
it's funny though. I still talk to my daughters about that though. I said, I really do want you to live your lives and everything. But the one thing I will tell you, and I share this with my daughters, is if when you grow up and you're especially when you're in your early 20s and you're thinking about family, if that is something that you truly desire, I do want to encourage you not to put that on the back burner. I know you see a lot of people, yes, they do have children older and things, but you should be asking yourself, how old do I really want to be at the PTA meeting? What do I want to be doing when I'm 50 and 60 years old?
Especially for us women. Our
Right. And I was
changing.
getting ready to say that because I have girls and it's different for women. I don't care what anybody says. Women end up usually being the primary caregiver. We are the ones doing the running and ripping for the children the majority of the time. And I'm not discounting what fathers do. Fathers do a lot, but a lot of times they come in on the back end after we done put everything together, organized everything, they just come in and follow the instructions.
And many times it's us overdoing it. We volunteer to overdo it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
of course they're gonna chill and be
yeah.
more
But
laid back.
most of the time, because when you have a child, you get into like mama bear mode. Like you're like, my child needs to be safe. My child has to eat. My child has to, be clothed. I want my child to have decent social experiences. I want them to be evolved into quality citizens here in society. I need to make sure my child survives and is successful. Dad is over there like, cool.
And you're watching the game.
They don't have, but, so I talk to my daughters about that because I want to help them to understand, moms, you're
Yeah, I have also started to recommend to young couples to just like 2 weeks ago when I had the conversation with Easy Cervantes and his fiance, and I was like, you guys get pregnant, have kids soon. You'll figure it out.
just get it over
I
with.
just think
That's
it's
what you want to do.
best. Yes,
I think so too. And I tell you this, I will admit that I admit this though, I am so glad that I had children. Like
me
kind of
too.
did that right away. I think we were
Also,
married.
here's the other thing. Recently, a few months ago, I met a gorgeous woman at one of the B1 trainings in Maryland. She is from Argentina, I believe, and she's here because her husband is a diplomat, and she has a business that she helps women to start companies, and she's very inspirational and has a big social media. Then she was telling me that I believe she's almost 40 and she's like hesitating whether to have kids and when to have kids. She once said, but then she will have to stop her career, blah, blah, blah. And I just very easily told her, have kids is beautiful. If you want to have it, it's the best thing that can happen to your life, and blah, blah, blah. And I just saw her that she just shut up and said nothing else and just listened to me. And then she continued to go through the training. And then I started thinking, of course, it was so easy for me to tell her. It's so easy for you to get pregnant and have kids when you have not reached the pinnacle of your career. A very different story would have been for me to have to make that decision when I was at the top of my career, which is how she's feeling right now. I didn't have anything to lose. It was way easier for me. So then I had to like refrain myself from saying that to women because of course I can only imagine how hard it must be to make that decision.
Big shift. Big shift.
Mhm.
So I tell my daughters, my advice about the children is you might want to get that out of the way.
The faster the better. That's my only.
Rather than later.
After I came to this conclusion with this girl that I just told you, I'm like, yeah, the sooner you have kids, the better. The less you have time to think about it, and you just,
Yeah.
oh, it happened. Let's just make
Because
it
once you have
work.
it, like once you have children, it's like we're here now. Hey, all
Yeah,
right.
it is non-stop mode. You work
Non-stop, non-stop until this day. I mean, 13 and 16 now. And I just look at them like, where did the time go?
Which
you
you
know?
were going to do it anyway. You were going to work nonstop to achieve all the things you wanted to then have kids. So you're going to do it regardless. So
Right.
you might as well do it while you're having the most beautiful experience of your life, experiencing that kind of love, raising
Uh,
your
Yeah.
kids.
Then I could say, I'd have my children, my girls over and over. Like I loved it. I loved being pregnant. I didn't have, I had the things that come with being pregnant, but it was just, these were just like really amazing experiences. Like I was just like, yes,
So what's your goal as far as that relationship? Do you want to get married again?
I think I am going to get married again.
Do you want to wait until the girls are grown up and out of the house, or it
That
doesn't matter?
that is a good question because at one point in time, I thought I am be open to, getting married before they were in college. But I think the older that they get, there's a part of me that's like so used to it just being us in the house, first of all. And then there's a part of me that feels like for them, I don't, there's a small part of me that does not want to interrupt how they live now, in their home, in their space. That would be a huge adjustment to get married and then have to, it's one thing for me to have to adjust to a new person living together, sharing a home, creating a home and all that. But I have to, my daughters would have to, come along too. So there's a part of me that is kind of like, the Nye is 16, so she's going to be graduating high school next year. And so she'll be getting ready to go to college in the fall in 2026. And then Simone, so she's in seventh grade, so she'll have 5 more years. There's a part of me that's like, the 5 years are going to go by fast. You don't have to rush this. We don't have to rush to get married and to have to, try to create this blended family situation and get a home and stuff together with someone, maybe let them finish out their school years. And if you are that serious with someone, then maybe, yeah. But, there's just a part of me that's like, I wonder if I should wait for them to just go ahead and finish high school and everything.
Besides, there are girls. It's a different
Yeah.
situation to bring a man into the house when you have
Yeah.
daughters.
Yeah. Or us moving to a man's
Yes.
home or something like that. It's like,
Yeah. It's
no.
it's trickier. Yeah.
Yeah.
How
So
old are you?
me, I'm 44. I'm getting ready to turn 45 in March.
But do you have this kind of paranoia that many people have that you're afraid of being alone?
No,
No.
I enjoy my space. I enjoy my time. I like to be in my zone, especially with the work that I do. There's this small part of me sometimes that's like, do I feel like explaining to some unfortunate soul what I do and how he needs to show up for me? Because, what we do requires a certain level of patience and understanding and high levels of support.
What do you think is the part that requires the most patience and understanding and support about
Just
our work?
just how exposed we are, how visible we are, particularly as women. So, with the having to entertain all these people everywhere as instructors and then, the social media and all the different things just kind of being out there. And I bring that up because we're from a different generation. So the man that I meet or marry, he's going to likely be older than me. At least that's my preference. He's going to be much older than me. Those men in that generation they're like, what you on social media for? No, you got to be on all of them. Wait, you going somewhere else because they just come from a different time. A lot of times where women were just a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit less seen, less just exposed in a way, like not how we are in this world that we are in as instructors. So it's just different. And so I just say, there are times when I appreciate my space and my time and I don't feel like I'm alone. It's impossible to feel alone when you have children and you have like big
Have you
families.
had difficulty? Because I know you've been dating in the past few years. Have you found difficult to explain all of this to your dates when you first meet them, or have you noticed certain reactions on them?
So Yes, this is how I know what I know.
Okay, tell me, tell me. Like, how do they
Okay,
react or what do they say?
it's like they're like, let's see, I guess I could kind of put it in like categories. Like
Uh-huh.
there are some, right? And this is not just dates, but just people in general who look at the thing like, oh, that's that cute little thing that you, okay, yeah, you're like this instructor, whatever. Okay, it's like, that's cute. Is that it? That's all? Like, wait, what? So there's this, oh, that's
Like, they
cute.
don't understand the magnitude and the
They don't
seriousness of
get
the
it.
job.
They have no idea. They don't get it, and they don't try to get it. It's just this casual thing. They're men, and so they're just like, yeah, that's cute or whatever. When we going out? So that's that, right?
Dismiss.
Right. They're like, okay, oh, you got class tonight. Great, whatever. Then there are gentlemen who are like, that's interesting. Wow. So you have to do all of that. So this is like the group that I was saying about it at first, who's kind of like, so you're always just kind of out there, huh? Just like you move a lot, you move around a lot. It's like, yeah, we could do this, and this. And they're like, right. So where do I fit in? I'm like, you just gotta kind of go with the flow. That's interesting. So those are the gentlemen who are more like,
Yeah, those are the ones you say they are clueless as far as like, how do you support a person that has this kind of job?
exactly. There's that, and then there's also, um,
Uh,
you're
because
gonna
it's
always
hard to
be burned.
explain. Like,
They
even
feel
if they were to ask, how can I support you? Like, what would you say?
so you're saying if they were to ask, how can I
Yes.
support you in what you
Yes. So,
do?
yeah. So let's say I'm one of those gentlemen and you just shoot at me your job description. And then I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. So if we were to get into a serious relationship, what kind of support would you expect from me regarding your job?
Okay, so my job, well, um,
I love the body language.
so here's what I need. It's a matter of first of all, just being understanding and patient. Patient because my schedule can change a lot. It is not always just this like 9 to 5 every day. So yes, I have these classes, but there are times when I'm going to sub someone else's. So at any time I could be like, hey, I'm covering a class tomorrow at 7 at such and such. Are you okay with that kind of thing? Just,
But
being
if you were supposed to meet me for dinner, what would you do? You will cancel my dinner last minute?
no, no, no. I'm not going to cancel your dinner. That's not going to happen. I don't mean that type of flexibility. I mean
Okay.
just understanding when I do say, hey, my schedule's going to be like this week, or this is coming up tomorrow. This is kind of last minute. That it is not a problem for you. Because it could be a problem for someone else. Like, dang, I never know what she's going to be doing. Or I'm covering a class on Saturday. I have these jam sessions.
Okay, but that's sporadic. That's not like every day is going to be different. At
No, no,
least you
no,
have
no,
some.
no.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's sporadic. It's not like every day. So,
Okay. How else would you expect me to support your job?
maybe if I'm traveling, I may want you to come. I may want you to be ready to travel with me. I may need you to help me, one, to stay calm. Maybe I need you to help me get organized. And you need to feed me. Make sure I eat.
Because we forget to buy food
Yeah,
and then we're
yeah,
extremely tired and we're
yeah,
deliriously tired and then we don't have
yeah.
energy
It's
to go. And
like,
so, so be
so this is
thoughtful. That will be the support.
yeah,
Be
thoughtful,
thoughtful.
considerate, help me to, just make sure that I just kind of help me to stay on track a little bit. Hey, Shawnee, did you do this? Did you take care of this before? Did you,
Like what? Taking care of what? Like,
you take care of, okay, say again.
do you want me to carry your luggage for you, to bring
Well,
your food to the room, to
you're probably
videotape
gonna,
your
you know what?
session?
If you're dating me, you're probably just gonna do that anyway. You don't even need it. You're probably not even gonna have to ask.
Wrong. My man does none of that. Have you seen my captain at Zumba convention? He barely shows up to my class, just waves like, here I am. And then he leaves. He does not carry anything that, no. And I love it because I prefer that I have experienced the other opposite, in which I have my partner just like in awe of me and like carrying my boxes and bringing me food and doing this and doing it, like working for me. I don't feel attracted to somebody that
Oh,
works for
God.
me.
Yeah. Oh my
But I
God.
needed to understand that. I don't feel attracted to somebody that is catering to me so much. I feel attracted to a man that is like, how did your thing go, baby? I'm so proud of you. You are gorgeous, or I admire you. Congratulations, you deserve it. Now come and relax with me. And then I get to unplug from that. Because we come from certain podium, like everybody's like, wow, you're awesome. Take a picture with you. Take a picture, video for social media. Thank you, Maria. You inspire me. But I don't need that from my men. I need the opposite. So I get grounded again and I get back to reality. And then I feel attracted to him. That is because I experienced the other opposite. So it depends on the person. But for you want them.
I was going to say that. It depends on the person. I am going to fully appreciate all of the yumminess and affection in that way. If he's carrying things, if he's doing things, if he's checking on me, making sure I ate, I'm like, I love you. I can't wait till this is over. I'm going to thank you later. No, I am happy to have my man take excellent care of me. I love that. I don't shy away from that. And I think part of that just comes from just kind of understanding that what I'm giving to like the people in terms of students and instructors, as an instructor and as a jammer, I'm just giving to them. And I feel like I'm serving them in major ways. And they are just kind of, yes, take it. But the applause that they give is nothing compared to, oh my gosh, he has this food for me over here. Oh my gosh, I don't have to pick up anything. I don't have to do.
Is your love language acts of service?
I think so. And yes. Probably.
Have you done the test?
Taken it, and I feel like I've taken it at different times, and it comes out to be different.
Changes. It changes. Yeah.
It's like, what? It's all of them. It's all of them, y'all. Look.
No, but you appreciate. Raul, my boyfriend, appreciates acts of service as well. That's his love language. Like if he sees me doing something for him, he's like, I'm so appreciative and so in love when I do anything for him. So. But for me, it's words of affirmation. That's why I don't need him to do anything for me. But I need him to tell me that I am the best and that he's crazy about me.
See, I need that, and I need the gifts, and I need
the physical touch and the quality time.
I'm a lot.
Girl, you got to pick one.
I do. Why?
Because you got to understand which one is your main one. Because you cannot just expect everything. Nobody's going to give you everything. It's hard enough to give you one.
I don't know.
Yes, you do know. You just don't want to give up the others. You have to. No, you have to go for the main one.
After all the work that we do, I do appreciate someone who is like, the food is ready, the water is in the tub. Just go ahead, unplug, relax. Let me know if you need anything else. I appreciate that.
I am the opposite. When I'm so tired and after I've been with people, I just want to be alone. I don't have any energy left after I've been giving it all to our people in our sessions. So I prefer to be left alone. Then I recharge on my own. I meditate. I do all of my rituals to recharge. And then I can be with him and fully enjoy his presence. So it's the opposite. You want him to help you to recharge. I'm like, leave me alone. And I love it that he respects that.
It's funny. I want.
Now you also want to be left alone. Woman, you want the more.
No, it's not. I don't. Now you're going to have me looking like someone who cannot be pleased now. Like,
no,
I need you to set me up.
We're talking about this. We're talking about this. So maybe you realize, okay, which one is the most important one? Then I will truly appreciate when I find the one guy that gives me this one. Because he's the most important one. And the others I'm not going to be so crazy about.
I think I like the acts of service. Like, please, just take care of me. Yeah, I spend a lot of time taking care of others, especially being a mom and stuff. I just want somebody to be like, what do you want here? I noticed that you were missing this here. I noticed that you needed this. I overheard you say this the other day here.
I overheard you because I keep looking for cues and clues to know what you need.
I love that. There are men in the world.
There are men like that. I've dated wonderful men like that.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm like, he's so good at
that part right there. That part. You're like, oh my gosh. It makes you feel like, am I worthy? Yeah, it's like, yes. I'm like, oh, it makes you feel like I need to do something nice. Hold on. Let me do something nice. So maybe part of not wanting all of that type of attention for, like you were saying, you don't need all of that. Maybe like subconsciously it's like, I don't want all of that because then I feel like I'm not showing up enough. Now
No, it didn't make me feel like that. It just
Mhm.
made me feel like you
Well,
need a person that
mhm.
appreciates what you're doing because they really need it. But
Right.
since I don't need it, I don't need anyone to. I actually feel like Wonder Woman when I can do anything and everything on my own. It's like an
Mhm.
amazing feeling I enjoy. So when people do so much for me, I'm kind of upset because they're taking that feeling away from me. Then
I
I don't
got
get to
it.
feel that I'm Wonder Woman. And I freaking love it. I
See, I
know
don't
it's
want
kind
to feel.
of
I
twisted.
don't need to be Wonder Woman. I just want to be pampered. Damsel in distress, help me, help, please.
No, but because I dated men that were so wonderful, and this one in particular that I'm thinking about, I was engaged to him, and that because he was so giving, it helped me to understand myself, to understand like, why is this not feeling right? Like, I shouldn't just keep being with him because he's giving me so much. It started to feel like I'd better give him things back
Mhm.
in exchange.
That's what I
But then,
meant.
like, but understanding I'm not even asking for what he's giving me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
why am I gonna feel in obligation to be in this
I,
relationship?
where did Wonder Woman come from? How
Oh,
did
my parents got divorced when I was 8, and I grew up with a single mom that was freaking amazing. The best example of a single mom. And I'm like in adoration of my mom. So my programming is to be a single mom, to be Wonder Woman, because to me, she was Wonder Woman. So I feel very proud of being Wonder Woman, but that's a programming that I've had to change and reprogram myself in order for me to finally find the relationship I wanted, like the one with that I have with Raul, because I cannot be all Wonder Woman, all bossy, all controlling with him. No, I needed to understand that it feels good to be in control of my life. But when I bring somebody else into my life, like my partner, that's no longer my life. That's our life. So I cannot continue to behave
right.
the same way. I have to stop being so controlling. And because I had already analyzed how does a man need to behave in order for me to always feel absolutely crazy about them and passionate about them and like attracted to them. So then I realized I actually need him not to be overdoing things for me because then I see him as a worker.
Mm-hmm.
I need him not to be my best friend and sit down and talk to me because I had another amazing relationship and that's all we did. We talked. It was amazing. It was so much fun. I love them all. I've had amazing relationships, but I didn't feel that attraction towards him because we were friends. We were best friends. So by then, when I met my captain 9 years ago, I had realized all of this. So then I identified all those qualities in him. He's not looking for a best friend either. And he lets me take care of him, not because he asked for anything. He's absolutely fine if I never do anything for him, also, because there's some periods that I'm super busy and I cannot do anything for him in it either. But he's there, he's constant, and he's giving me all his energy, and I'm crazy about him, and he's supporting me, believing in me. Yeah, so I found him when I had found myself and what I really wanted in a relationship.
I think
Therefore, I
you and
identified.
so that is where we differ because, well, my mother, she wasn't a single mother for long because, I have a stepfather too. But in the interim, when she was, I feel the same way about her. Like she just worked so hard, just to me, it was just like, wow, oh my gosh, she does so much, right? For me and my brothers and my sister. And she is just always going out her way. And I think,
But did you see
um,
it as I want to be that, or I
no,
don't want
so
to work
this is the
that
point.
much?
This is the part that I'm getting ready to make when I say that you and I are opposite. What I discovered in myself as I got older, especially as I had gone through, my first marriage and I had had kids and all the things, what I had learned was that isn't what I wanted. I desired to be in a situation and to be in a relationship where I didn't have to work so hard. I didn't have to do all the heavy lifting. And I decided that, for me, when Mr. Right comes into my life and I do get, married again, I don't want to have to be superwoman. I don't knock that at all. But for me, because I feel like up until this point, especially with my girls and they have a dad. So I'm not looking for a dad for my kids, but even still, I feel like I've worked so hard and that's enough. I'm like, I can take off the cape and put down the boxes and, let somebody else carry it. Let somebody else do it. So I don't, I know I'm super. I already know how grand I am. I have
You
done
don't need
a
to be overdoing to feel that you're a superwoman.
so for the kind of relationship that I know I'm going to have, I have to rest.
And my oldest sister is like you, and we have the same parents. It's all personalities. We can
It
be
is
living in the same
personality.
environment, and everybody takes things in a different way. For my oldest
Mhm.
sister, it was like, there is no way I'm having my mom's life. And she's been married for 30 years and has an amazing relationship, and her husband takes care of her.
Good.
Yes, she
I,
did it.
I'm
We
one of
both
those.
did it. We made it happen on our own.
I love that. I am the biggest fan. I'm the biggest proponent for housewives and stay-at-home mothers. Love it. I'm like, that is fantastic. Especially, and specifically for those who have a high quality partner who is very supportive, is not abusive, is not,
Exactly.
over aggressive in terms of power, because I know a lot of people, particularly women, they can be afraid of that in those kind of situations. They feel like, I don't want anybody taking care of me because they will have this power over me and they might take advantage of me. I got to have my own and I got to do a lot of things myself. And I'm like, well, that does happen to some, but there's a whole lot of people who don't experience that. It sounds like your sister
Yeah.
is one of those people who had, somebody
Oh my
who,
God, no, she has an unreal relationship. Unreal. Like their relationship has zero toxicity.
I love
Like
that.
I don't understand. They're not in any categories. They're just like
I love to hear that. And see,
out
so
of
that
this world.
we mentioned earlier, how, it doesn't have to be that hard. Like, I feel like, sometimes people, especially women, they think they have to go through so much stuff with their partner in order for us to have a strong relationship. It's like we've
Yes.
been through and we've, all these ups and downs. And it's just like,
And
okay.
for many people, that's not their story at all. They're like,
And I
no.
just I want to hear more of those people's stories. I love to, and I know that they're out there, and I've heard some, but I hear more of the struggle love, and I'm like, struggle love,
Yeah.
ew.
I think that there are the kind of people that don't analyze anything too much. Like we're here analyzing everything.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
sister.
They don't.
Like
It's
even
like,
if I try to interview her, like she will be like, "Why are you asking me this? Like, why do
yeah,
you even think of these things?"
yeah, yeah. And you're probably right. It's like the people who they're like, I can't. I can't do dance fitness classes. I'm too in my head. It's like I can't get into my body. I'm just thinking about it too much. And you're like, just chill out, let go, right? And so it's like
Exactly that. But in
maybe,
relationships,
maybe if we just chill out, let go in these relationships, we can have a lot more fun.
amen. Let that be the moral of the story. This whole conversation.
We can have a lot. Y'all just chill out, friends. All of you singles out there looking for somebody, relax.
Just free dance.
Be
Don't think
easy.
about it.
Don't be so tense, Enjoy the process.
Exactly.
Isn't
Quick
that
pause to remind you that if you're enjoying this content, share it with somebody. In this way, you help me to continue to grow this project. Thank you so much, and let's get back to the show.
that would be
Okay,
awesome.
so during all of this process of having fun dating, what happened in your life that made you decide that you wanted to go into bodybuilding competition?
It was a bucket list thing.
Since
When
when?
Okay, so since I had become an instructor, so once you become an instructor and you get into it and you start
A
to see
Zumba
that,
instructor?
yeah, 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 because
Where?
not
Since 2012, you
no, no,
wanted to
no.
be a.
No, 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 no. Not because when you become an instructor, now you get into the fitness world. I mean, you start working in the gym. It just kind of opens up your eyes to different possibilities. You're learning different formats, and you're just doing different things. And now you're exposed to this world where you start to see, in my experience, oh my gosh, look at these beautiful women with these amazing bodies. How did they sculpt their bodies like that, first of all? That's going to be me one day. And then,
Okay. So it has been in the back of your head for
in the back
years.
of my head for years,
Okay.
you know.
So what helped you to make the decision and start training?
I had one of my sorority sisters did a competition, and when she did it, well, there were before her, there were a number of people who I had proximity to. You know, we weren't like friends, but we were like kind of associates in different circles. And, you know, once I saw like her do it, then her do it, then her do it, I'm like, that's because you're supposed to do it, Shawnee. You're supposed to do it. Like, you need to go ahead and get this thing out the way. If you don't do it, you're going to always be thinking about it. You need to get this done. You have a lot of access. You have a lot of different people who can help you get started. And then before my sorority sister, it was them. And then Kat, she did a competition.
Okay.
Kat,
Oh, I didn't.
yeah, both cats. So,
Yes, the
Catherine
other
Medina,
cat.
it was in Medina.
Yes,
And
Medina.
both of them did a competition. Then my sister-in-law, she did a competition. My brother did a competition. And then the final straw was
Your brother who you gave a kidney to?
not the brother who I gave a kidney to, my younger brother.
Okay.
And then the final straw, the icing on the cake, was my sorority sister. And I was like, okay, it's too close to home. It's in my face. It's in my face. The family has done it.
Screaming at you.
It's like, when are you going to do it? Do it. And so, I asked my sorority sister to connect me with her trainer. And then one thing led to another, and here we are.
Okay, so for how long did you train for your first competition?
So I started training in 2023, and then I did my first competition last year in 2024. So I trained for a year before my first one.
Okay, and you've done two competitions.
Yeah, I did.
When was the second one?
So I did one in March 30th was my first one, because that was for my 4th birthday. That was the gift to myself. I was like, yes, this is it. I'm going to compete in my first bikini competition. And then the second one was in October of last year, October 12th. Yeah.
Is your goal to go pro?
I would love to do that. I think I would, but I have to ask
myself, I think?
Why? Because I'm like, do I want to, or was it just so I can check this off the bucket list? I have to.
That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, I think I'm still kind of undecided. I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, do I? Because the thing about going pro is you need to be in it. Okay.
Yes.
Like, so
to be serious.
You need to, it's like with anything. So it's like, it's one of the things that I've kind of learned, like even as a Zumba instructor, or particularly as a jammer, like if you're going to do this thing, if you're going to do this thing and you really want to, I guess, ascend to higher heights and really be your greatest self in the thing, you need to go in and do the thing. And so in terms of going pro, I'm undecided. I don't know yet. I'm still having fun with it.
What benefits will come from going pro?
For me, it's just an ego boost, if I'm being honest. It's just, I got really good at this thing, and these are my results, and this is. Did
you make a good placement?
Yeah. Not yet. Not in my opinion. I mean, I've been
Yeah, because it's very hard. It takes several competitions to get.
Yeah. It's very, very. So I haven't, been like top 3 yet. So, but yeah. So going pro, it would just be, bragging rights.
In the process of training for these 2 past competitions, did you have to sacrifice other areas of your life?
Yeah, food.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. But like other activities that were important for you, or other commitments or time?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was waking up really, really early, like to work out. I mean, if that's what you mean.
Okay. What I mean is, for example, I am training myself to learn how to invest in the stock market. And this takes like daily classes every morning, every day, weekly. And I've been at it for a few months. So in the process of trying to take off with building this new skill, I need to put many other things in autopilot. Like my social media is on autopilot right now. There's no full intention or work on it because I don't have the time, and I need to to balance things, put some things in autopilot to take off with some others, and then later on I get to balance, right? So that's what I mean. Like some things need to go a little bit lower.
Mm-hmm. Now I feel like I don't do I have a life? Like, because I never felt like I had to sacrifice a bunch of different things for it, because it was just a matter of working out every day like you're supposed to.
Okay.
And
But you work out every day for how many hours?
so usually maybe an hour, hour, 15 minutes. Sometimes it can be an hour and a half.
Oh, yeah, that's not too much investment.
Yeah. So if I'm putting that on the front end of my day, like I'm starting to work out at 5:45 or 5:30 in the morning, the workout is done. Right.
Okay, and then you get to
And
keep
the
your
rest
life
and the rest
intact.
of the day, the sacrifices do not get that pound cake for lunch. But the rest of the time is okay. So I can say this. You have to set aside time to make your food. That
There
time
you
is
go.
good.
Yes, food
That right
prepping is
there.
key.
That right there, the
Yeah.
grocery shopping, the cooking your food, the meal prep, that right there, you have to be intentional in terms of your time. So it's like every Sunday, you're going to meal prep for Monday through Wednesday because I don't really like leftover food for too many days. So I have to go back in like Wednesday, Thursday and really make time to cook, to prepare the meals for your meal prep. That's probably like one of the like major sacrifices in terms of like time and really having to plan around that. Because if you don't plan around it, it can get away from you. I have had experiences where I need to do this thing on Sunday. I'll just meal prep on Monday, and then it got away from me. I'm like, okay, I'll do it Tuesday, and I'll just catch up on Wednesday. But then it got away from me, and I ran low on meals. And when you run low on meals, now you just pick anything from the cabinet, and
Yes.
you try to convince yourself, oh, this
Not
isn't
a
going,
good risk.
this is not going to mess up the diet. It's just one little bag of Doritos. It's not that serious, but it is
Oh
that.
my God.
But it is that serious. And then
Okay, let's make this clear. Doritos will always mess up anyone's diet. Let's get that message
right.
clear.
And then you have to be intentional, especially as you get closer to your competition with your weigh-ins. You're sending your weight to your nutrition coach, every week, and they can tell when you have not.
Busted.
Because your weight can fluctuate so easy, and
And then you have to come out clean and tell them, I'm
yeah. So
sorry.
so I was someone who, because I knew I would just tell him in advance, hey, listen, this is what happened. I went to this birthday party, right? Right. Because if my weigh-in is on Sunday, I'm sending in my weight and updated pictures every Sunday, and things are going on over the week, and I'm like, yeah, man, tough times. It was a tough time over this past weekend. He's like, yeah, you got to stop doing that. It's like,
If you want good results, you better stop.
you do. So when you ask me about going pro is a lifestyle. It's just like kind of what we do. If you want to be good at it, really, really good at it, it's a lifestyle. You got to. So, and I'm still having fun with it. I know the trainers and the nutrition coaches be like, when you going to stop playing and get serious, girl? Like, don't force me. Don't stress me out. I'm a Zumba instructor. I want to go dance now. Okay.
I like it that you're just having fun with it.
Oh, that's another thing.
What?
Asked me about a sacrifice. So as an instructor, when you're trying to build muscle, you're trying to create definition and everything. And you have to be careful as an instructor, particularly a cardio instructor, to not do too much cardio. So you may have
why you decided to turn into Zumba Gold and create your seniors program, your season?
Well, no, that kind of happened by default. So I'm gonna remind me to tell you that story later, how that started. But it's like I have to be careful when I'm really like getting close to competition to not overdo it with cardio. So what I have to do is in my Zumba classes, kind of pull back. Don't go so hard and actually, because we'll get into the class and we'll end up doing the class with the class. So I will have to learn to do more show and encourage the class to do what I show them so that I'm not overexerting myself in doing too much cardio, because it's like I'm fighting against myself. I'm trying to build this muscle, but I'm doing so much cardio. You do need a certain level of cardio, but it's not the kind of cardio that we do for a Zumba class. The cardio that you do when you're training for a competition is more like Stairmaster or treadmill. So it's a different kind of workout. What I do will end up like kind of messing up the result. It's hard to explain.
Yes, eating the muscle. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, in a way. Yes, I have to be careful with that. That's why sometimes if there are instructors who will stop instructing while they're training.
So when you were going into competition, you would not teach jam sessions around that time?
Could teach, it's just the intensity. I have to pull back the intensity of the class. When you were at the B1 the other day, you're in it too. You're all around and all the things. I have to kind of pull that back, like show you all what to do and encourage you to you all show me, but not actually like be doing the stuff full out. Because
you are currently training for a competition?
That is the plan.
When is the next one?
I'm supposed to be doing a competition in May.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Wow. This is like long-term goals.
Yeah.
Like knowing that you're gonna...
It's like Zumba for me. You get sucked in, man. It's like, okay, I want to do
it. You're having
uh-huh.
so much fun that it feels like Zumba?
Say again?
You're having so much fun training your body that it now feels like as fun as Zumba fun?
Yes, because listen, when
I want to get there.
Because I love the result. It's the result.
You're addicted to looking so hot.
I am 44 years old with 2 kids, and I get to go and lift some weights because the results are going to be chef's kiss.
What's the part of your body that you are enjoying the most, that like to see the results?
Maria, no.
No, I have an idea, but I want your glutes. But you've always had a beautiful booty.
You think so? I love you so much. That has been, my glutes in my legs. I've always felt
I thought you would say your abdomen, because everybody's so obsessed with having a six-pack, and your abdomen is flat, or at least on the pictures, the few pictures you let us see you on the bikini, because you're very modest on your posting of bikini competition. So I'm like, take it off, remove that.
You're like the second or third person to say something about that. Like, when you going to show us? Like, come to the show, darling.
No, but you gotta keep it. You gotta keep it this way, because that's how we watch the whole video. Because we're waiting for you to open the rope and show us, and you never do. And you're just such a teaser. And you're wearing it, and you turn around, and we're like, okay, she's gonna show the booty, and then she's like, bye.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! The thing with the abs are easy for me. That's what I've discovered.
Okay.
They are easy. Well, they are and they aren't. I still have the fupa, as I guess that's what it's called, from having children. But for the most part, I've discovered how to train my abs when I need to train them. It's my legs, it's my quads, my glutes, my legs, my calves.
You're so proud of it.
That is what I get excited about developing. That's the part, because they've never had any like curve or definition to me. And now I can start to see the transformation. And what I've discovered is, when you're trying to do that, these kinds of transformations, they take time. Like, they can take a year or more. You are trying to restructure your body, and you're trying to, and I'm doing it in a natural way, because the competition organization that I compete in is a natural organization. So I don't get to, I'm not getting enhanced or anything, no enhancements. Nope. I just have to go to the gym and eat right and drink my water.
Legit.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you something and I forgot. I know I had it in the tip of my tongue. It'll come back. Don't worry. It's the perimenopause.
Perimenopause. We were talking about earlier when we were talking about relationships, one of the things that I have discovered that I don't think.
I remember, by the way, but keep going.
One of the things that, we don't really talk enough about, and I try to share this with my daughters, is that I always feel like women are like, we are literally on an emotional roller coaster our entire lives from the moment we start puberty. From the moment we start puberty. And I just feel like that's something that needs to be studied, something that really needs to be talked about, because once you start your cycle, it's like, I feel like you're only normal like maybe 5 to 7 days out of the month.
There's no such thing as normal. We have 3 different personalities depending on the different cycles we go through the month. Right, 10 days, 10 days.
The different phases of the cycle. And it's just like, that is something like to like really take in mind and analyze, because for your rest of your life, because you go through your cycles up and down all the time. And then if you get pregnant, that is another extreme form of emotional roller coaster that you go on during that process. Then you have the baby, and then there's that postpartum stuff, right? And then you get into raising the children and you go back to your cycle and you're still on an emotional roller coaster the whole time. And then maybe you have kids and you're just like, there's never any like calm or stability. And then you go through perimenopause and then menopause. It is
Mhm.
like, it is
Which
no,
perimenopause can last 10 to 15 years. Yes. The
so
whole life is
it is
dealing
like,
with different personalities. But there's so much information nowadays out there for us to
yeah,
know
yeah,
how
it's like,
to better prepare for our cycles, how to, like I've been doing this for the last 2 years, eating correctly depending on the cycle I'm going through in the month, exercising differently depending on the cycle, allowing myself more rest or pushing myself harder in other things. Like it's been such relief to understand how to support my body and my hormones. It's been
it's
very,
good
very cool.
though. This is good. It's good though, because I feel like the more that we talk about it, just as women, and the reason I was thinking about this earlier in terms of our emotionality is because these emotional roller coasters, in my opinion, affect how we think and make decisions, how we choose the partner, who we choose to date, who we choose to partner up with and connect with, the kind of business that we go into. All of that emotionality and what we go through affects that. And I'm like, I don't think people really understand and talk much about that, because as women, we still have to show up like we're normal and regular. We still have to go
We
into
have to pretend.
we have to pretend. I feel like as women, we are wearing a mask all day, every day. We walk out the door and it is game on. It is showtime. We have to be
Because if you
normal.
act differently, then everybody's like, what's wrong with you?
What's wrong with her?
Are you
Right?
bipolar? Yes. And
Yeah.
it's because
Yeah. You
we've
have
been
to like,
programmed to pretend.
oh my gosh. And especially in the work that we do, we have to show up like this. Hello. In
Yes.
5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. All right. Bako shuffle.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
Yes.
so it was just a point that I was thinking about when we were talking about just our emotionality and everything. And add on becoming a an athlete, a competitor. My goodness, you don't feel like working out and being committed to a meal plan when you're going through your cycles. You just want salt
Mm-mm.
and sweet.
Yes.
You are
And not
very
to
tired.
pretend.
You're
Yes.
very, very tired. And then if you add on the perimenopausal part, very lethargic. I remember when like this was like recently, maybe like in the last year, because I had felt so tired and I was feeling foggy, right? Now I'm a competitor and a group fitness instructor and a mom, and I'm supposed to do all the things. And I was like, why do I feel so tired a lot? Why do I feel foggy? Like forgetful foggy? Like I put my keys here and did not remember. Tearing up the
Mm-hmm.
house. Yeah, I did put it right there. So anyway, I went to be seen about this, blood work done, all the things, and they're talking about my FSH levels, all these different things. I'm like, what are you talking about? Long story short, they ended up suggesting that I needed to, balance my hormones. FH
How?
levels were off.
So they give you,
Estrogen and progesterone were getting over. They were like, we think your estrogen and progesterone levels are starting to decrease a little, and all these different things. And so we want to
did
help
you
with that.
start the treatment?
Yeah, yeah. I started taking it and I felt much better. I was
So
sleeping.
you're
I started.
still taking it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. So what is it exactly that you're taking?
It's progesterone and estrogen. This is hormone therapy, hormone
But
replacement
how?
therapy.
Yes, but it comes in different ways. It can be topical with a gel. It can be a
Oh
patch.
no,
It
no,
can
no.
be an
I take
injection. It can be
tablets.
vaginal
I take
tablet.
tablets. Yeah, I take tablets. Mm-hmm. Yep.
One tablet every day.
One tablet every day of both. Mm-hmm.
It solved the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Like just because I was feeling like low energy levels and I was feeling very tired and I was like foggy and I was just like, I don't know. I just felt weird. Something was going on there. And then, when I went to have a panel done, you know how they run your blood and they check all the different things. That's what they were saying, your different episodes. Then it's like they say it to you like a whisper. It's like, this could be the beginning stages of our menopause. So it's just like,
Was it
Okay.
a woman doctor or a man?
I thought it was a man. The ladies are like, you know what? This is going to be an excellent time in your life. Just get ready. And I'm like, well, how long does this take? Because like, I don't
No,
need to.
because it took me years
I'm like,
going through doctors and they did not recommend the HRT. And then I finally decided to do it on my own. I mean, I guess it's going to be a year in April. But the hormone that I had low was the testosterone, not the estrogen. My estrogen and progesterone were fine, but testosterone was at the lowest. So that's why I was feeling all foggy, lack of energy, zero motivation.
Oh my gosh, that is real. And that had gone on for a while until I got some drugs, y'all. Now I
Yeah,
can't
HRT, we need it. We women need it.
it just is like,
Yes.
ladies, don't be ashamed. Just get the
Yes.
drug.
Get
Get the
into it.
drug.
The
Now,
question I wanted to ask you is, how do your dates react when you tell them that you are doing bikini competition?
oh,
Is it a
so
positive or a negative?
so because I just started, that conversation never, it doesn't get that deep because I just
Okay.
started the competition. So like my first competition last year, it wasn't anyone to explain anything to. And when I say date, I mean, like, I'm not, I wasn't serious about anyone, so I didn't have to explain anything. But this is a good question because I think
Yeah,
about,
but not explaining, but just sharing that that's something you're into.
it's like, well, they're like, oh, wow, can I come? No, you cannot.
Okay. Okay.
No, not yet.
So it's an excitement reaction.
Yeah. Because they just
Okay.
want to see
Your
the
body,
girls
of
on the
course.
stage, me
Yes.
on the
But
stage.
then once he gets into a relationship, that might change. They may go into,
It could. It's just,
why
it
do you feel
depends.
they need to be on a stage in a bikini?
Exactly. No, Maria, these choices that I've made in life, this work that I do and the things that I'm interested in, I really need a really strong masculine man who's very confident.
A very secure person for
Very
sure.
secure and confident. He has to live life with his chest because, I'm exposed, like,
Yes.
out and about, and, he can't feel some kind of way about what it is that I do because, I think you and I talked about this the other day about how selfish we are. I want to do what I want to do. Okay. I'm going to do what I want to do for me first. Then I'll check on these children and then maybe this man. No.
Then you have to let him be the same. Be as selfish as you are. That's the thing. It goes
Yeah.
both ways. He
Right.
can't be upset if they are taking care of them first and then
Uh-huh.
you.
Yeah. I understand.
Because
That's fine.
that's another thing that I had to learn to appreciate in my man. He is his own priority first, and then I come second, as he should be. Thank God, he takes care of himself. He works out. He's healthy. He keeps evolving and learning and taking care of everything, and he's not a burden
I
to
agree
me.
with
So
that.
it's amazing.
I agree with that because I'm like this. If you are not taking care of yourself, I need you to take care of you first anyway, so you can feel really great about taking care of me. And I feel the same way for me. When I take care of myself, when I pour into myself, when I feed myself, when I do the things I want to do, and I bring myself joy and I put a smile on my face, I'm so excited to put a smile on yours. I'm so excited to come and feed you and give you and let you enjoy all of this yummy juiciness I got going on over here.
The yummy juiciness. I love it. Listen, before we go, you have to tell me the story of the seasoned sugars. How did you start this project of teaching? Is it just cardio classes to seniors or
Okay, so
Zumba?
Seasoned Sugars is a senior wellness program that I decided to develop. This happened.
When?
Okay, so this happened by default back in, I want to say, the fall of 2023, or was it 2022? It happened because I'm licensed to sell life insurance and health insurance. And I had decided to go into the Medicare space. Medicare is the insurance that older people or seniors usually take advantage of after they retire. This is insurance for people over, I think is it 65, I think? Mm-hmm. So one of the ways that I was going to build my clientele was to bring fitness to different retirement communities and those spaces where I knew there would be seniors. So I get into the space and I do my first class. And we're doing this chair exercise and it's great. And I get footage of it and I post it and this thing goes viral. It goes viral all over. Like when people are looking, I've had people ask me like, you get your following up, like Zumba instructors. I'm like, my following did not grow because of Zumba. Zumba, I love Zumba, but it had everything to do with seasoned sugars. People fell in love with me teaching seniors. And so I ended up liking it so much that I was like, I can do cardio classes with them, but then I also wanted to do a chair stretch class. So I got connected with a community that is near where I live. This is a retirement community, a bunch of fabulous seniors who live there, who are enjoying the rest of their life there. And I got connected with them and I went over there and I started just to do classes over there. And I was like, I really would love to share this, with everyone. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to start doing some footage and I'll start putting it on YouTube. And so I started a YouTube channel. It's called Seasoned Sugars Wellness. And I have, content on there, but I had noticed that, when I was like going to try to like really do like extended content, I wasn't aware of like the copyright music stuff. So I had to just start doing like YouTube shorts and I started doing YouTube shorts and the page is like kind of growing now. But I was also like, I want this to expand. Like, I want to, teach in other places. And so I got connected with our senior program over at the college where I teach. And so now I do senior classes over there too. And so I was just, wanted to develop a program where the participants didn't feel like seniors, if you will. I told them, I said, I'm not going to call you all senior citizens and I will not have people referring to you as the elderly. We are seasoned sugars, okay? We are spicy, but we are also very, very sweet. We are strong. We are flexible. We are high level energetic. We don't care what anyone says. We are seasoned sugars. Now, let's dance, let's stretch, let's lift these weights, let's do it. So
you do a combination of easy Zumba, like
it's
Zumba
not even
Gold?
Zumba related, funny enough. There is no Zumba involved. I didn't start out with Zumba Gold. I didn't do a Zumba Gold class.
Okay.
So eventually streamlined the program to where my classes, the movement classes, the cardio dance is more line dancing. So it's more line dancing for cardio dance. And then it's a seated chair stretch exercise that we do for the stretching. And I'm going to be introducing the seated resistance training this year to
Amazing.
So they will start to bring light weights and we will do a seated stretch class because they need to develop muscle still, even in their age range.
I recently learned on the episode I did with Richard Gormley, he told me how you can still post videos on YouTube with music that you don't own the rights to. And you're okay saying, I don't own the rights. And then they send you a notification that the audio is owned by the artist and they are the ones who are going to make a profit of it. So in those videos, the artist will make a profit of your video and not you. I mean, I'm sure you're still not monetizing with your channel, but it's a way to grow it because you just need to continue to grow it in subscriptions. So continue to post more content and just know that the artist, hey, good for them, of course. Hopefully they make some money.
Right, yeah.
Right.
I just don't want, I was concerned that my videos would get flagged and I wouldn't want
they don't. That's in the past they did that, but Richard explained to me because Richard has his in water fitness program. And he also has a YouTube channel for it. So he explained to me that that's how he does it. And I'm like, oh, wow, I never knew. And here I am not posting any videos.
Okay. Note to self. Because I only been doing shorts because I'm like, I don't know, because the music that I was using. I didn't want to use the music that they give you. They had to give you this music library. Like, what is this? I don't want to use it. It doesn't sound good.
No, you can go back to the real videos because I find it harder to take off with shorts. I've tried it a couple of times, and it's not as big of a hit. I think only the super famous people hit it with
Well,
shorts.
they hit if you already have a significant following,
Okay.
So I think that has something to do with it. And then I think it hits also if you, again, it's one of those things, if you're going in and you're doing this daily. So maybe you're posting 3 shorts a day. I'm probably not going to do that. I don't have the time.
Yeah.
I don't have the time. You
That's a
asked me,
comment
look, I got something funny for you. You asked me earlier if you're my date, and you asked me, what do I need from you?
to
So here
support you.
to support me. You want to support me, make my life easy so I don't have to worry about money or bills. So then that way, all I can do is sit and do my classes and just get online and just post my videos all day, every day.
Easy.
Easy. It's
And make him happy in
no
exchange. Because you
pressure.
will always be happy. If you're not stressed out, you're always happy. Therefore, you are there. You
Exactly.
can't wait to make him happy.
Exactly. I do my classes. I do my social media all day, and then I'm ready for you later. That's it, because I have nothing else to worry about. Just pleasing you, darling.
You can't do this hard. My son tells me that this is for old people. He's like, Mom, no, that's so old. This is the young generation.
Oh,
Ask your
this seems
daughters
like a
how
lot of
they do
work.
a heart. I know, and there's another one that is like, what is it? I don't know.
Here,
Something.
is it
There's
here?
another one they do like, I don't
Oh,
know,
there you
something
go.
even harder.
Your
But
phone is
this
making
one is
heart.
the latest one. So
Okay.
anyway, let's pretend we are Gen Zs. There you go. And this is a beautiful way to end our conversation, baby.
I
Thank you
love
so
it.
much. I love
Oh
this
God,
conversation because it was like girlfriend talk,
I
women
love
talk,
that. I love it.
real women talk. We didn't
Yeah.
even talk about business. So if people want to register for your jam sessions, where do they find you?
On Zumba.com. You can just
Your page.
Shawnita.pair. ShawnitaPair.Zumba.com. Yep,
Okay.
they can find me there.
And how do they find you on Instagram?
At the mix with Shawnee.
And
Yes.
do you have your Zumba page linked on the bio of your Instagram?
Yes.
So that they
So
can.
I actually have a link tree on my Instagram, and when they open the link
Perfect.
tree, like they're going to see jam session March 2nd, 2025, they can click right on it and they go straight to the registration page.
Are you used to be a reggaeton jammer, but
Yes.
now you are a choreo jammer and you teach
Yes.
us all kinds of rhythms?
Yes.
Since when did you become a choreo jammer?
I became a choreo jammer, I believe it was 2022.
Okay. So, but do you still teach the reggaeton jam sessions?
I don't do the reggaeton jam sessions now, but I do reggaetons in my jam sessions.
And many other rhythms, all kinds of rhythms.
The rhythms, yes.
Are you currently booking sessions outside the country, traveling with your jam?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay. But would you like to do that, or is it
I would
because of
love
your
to do
job
that.
that you don't have the freedom to do that?
That is my goal. My goal is to eventually get into a space where I am traveling for my jam sessions, whether it is in the country or outside of the country. I would love to take advantage of those fit body vacations, the ones where you teach on the islands. So I want to get back into that. I'm in a space right now where I feel like I'm kind of rebuilding my Zumba jammer business. I've had some time away just to kind of regroup, just from some burnout and just having to reassess and make sure that, I am still in love here, and I am. So I'm glad I'm still here. I am, feeling like, I feel like I'm kind of starting from scratch. Like I have to rebuild my community around me.
Maybe it wasn't a burnout. Maybe it was the hormones.
That part.
Because it changes your psyche.
It does.
When the hormones are off balance.
I just really what is my purpose and what am I doing?
Because that's exactly how I was feeling over a year ago.
I'm telling you.
I was like, why is it that I no longer have motivation to do anything? I used to be like this project and that project and that, like how I am right now. Again, I'm back to being me.
And I was at the end of the year, I was watching your podcast and I was like, HBF just, we used to.
My hand came out of the screen and that to you.
Yes.
For those listening, HBF is my Happy Beyond Fit program. I've never actually explained it, and we always mention it a little bit with all of the different guests. It started as a life coaching program in 2014. So it's been going on for 11 years. And I did it as a coaching program for many years. And I was running a membership and I was coaching so many people. And Shawnee was one of these awesome people. And we trained ourselves into radical honesty to help each other to understand ourselves. So we will very lovingly bitch slap each other to understand who we really are, to be okay with our own vulnerabilities, to develop awareness of self in order for us to make decisions of what needed to change in our lives. So that's what Shawnee is referring to, that she started listening to my podcast and my hand came out and did the bitch slap again.
One of the
Which episode in particular?
The episode with Renee Pickett.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which part in particular?
Just kind of talking about, her not being in the Zumba world or as an instructor, like she had been in the past, and, and you had made kind of a reference to like, just kind of making emotional decisions or what have you. And it just kind of resonated with me. And it resonated with me, first of all, because, I don't even know, if Renee even knows this, but she is one of the reasons that I became a jammer. Because I was inspired to become a jammer from Zen.28. Renee was on it, and Bianca, I forget her last name, and I forget the other person. But when I saw those three, I was like, how? They were doing, this was the track, it was Bunda by Watata. Forever. Every time I think of it.
And it was the first Zen volume that Zumba invited non-Zesses to be the ones doing the
was? I didn't know that.
It was their first testing the waters to see how people were going to react and how it was going to go. And it was the first time with them three.
Yes, I remember Renee and
Alina Goodman.
Alina, yes, it was, yes. Now I remember, yes, those three. When I saw that volume, I was like, I'm supposed to be a leader like them. And so it was like a first full circle moment, you interviewing her, and because I don't even think she knows that.
And she's also into bodybuilding. She just turned pro.
Bodybuilding too. Like, she's my spirit.
So many things. Yeah.
So many things. Yeah. She has 2 sons. I have 2 daughters. Like, just, and just listening to her, and I'm like, girl, I know those feelings and stuff. And I'm like, man, she doesn't even know that she's like one of the reasons I'm a jammer, because I saw her and Bianca and Alina, and I was like, I'm supposed to be a leader for Zumba. And I think that's another thing, just listening to your podcast. If I tell you, I feel like, yes, your hand came out and was like, stop it. You need to go and post your jam. You need to post your first jam for 2025 now. And so I did. And so,
well, that's it. This is confirmation that I need to continue to do my podcast episodes. Thank you so much.
I'm just here.
You have very lovingly returned the bitch slap through the screen to me.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was doubting it, but I'm also doing this just for fun and because I have so much going on in other things and the new skills I'm trying to develop. Sometimes it's like, oh, I don't have the time to do the recording and the editing and all of these, but I'm like, oh, but I have to share my conversations. They're so beautiful. So thank you for telling me this. This is also words that the universe knew that I needed to hear, that my podcast is really helping people to make decisions, to understand
this is your
things.
Great work. This is your great work. And one of the things that has spoken to me just listening to all of your interviews with everyone is, Shawnee, you still have great work to do in this particular community. This is why you cannot leave right now. It is not time. And if you do, you're going to regret it. You are not done here. There's other things that are supposed to be done. And so just stay and go post your jam session now.
That's right, baby. I'm glad you were willing to listen to the universe, to your own internal wisdom. Look what I have here.
Oh, you still have one of the roses.
I brought representing our friendship.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this beautiful episode. This was awesome, girl.
I've missed you so much. And, it's one thing to, see you and follow you. And I know you're very busy. I get that. And I'm just like, that's supposed to be my friend.
Yes, it's mutual. And I've missed you too. And I've been seeing you from the distance, also be taking your time or doing your thing. And this is time to reconnect. I love it. This was a
I love
beautiful
it too.
reconnection.
This is
Sunday was
supposed to
such
happen.
a beautiful surprise. So thank you for your surprise on Sunday at my
I'm
training
really
in
glad I did that because I was like, you're getting up to
Maryland.
go see her because you need to tell her in person that you're proud of her in her podcast.
Thank
Period.
you so much, amor. Thank you. I appreciate it. See, we
Mhm.
bless each other. Thank you so
All
much.
day, every day.
Talk to
Yeah.
you soon. Everybody, stay tuned. Next time, live
Thank
from
you.
paradise, both of us together.
Thank you. Thank you. Live from Paradise.
Yes.
Yes. Put a trademark on that. Live from Paradise TM.
It's a date, baby.
It
Thank you,
is.
mi
Thank
amor.
you. Mwah. Mwah. Thank
Enjoy
you so
your night.
much. Enjoy your night. Thank you, Maria. I'll talk to you soon.